Welcome to Select here on the front row at IMTS in 2024. We're here in front of the Soraluce SAD40 universal milling machine, which has an integrated 40-inch rotary table inside a very large capacity vertical. Stepless head gives you vertical and horizontal milling capability with 1/1000th of a degree indexing increments. We're also demonstrating the DAS technology that's integrated into the Soraluce machines, as well as the DWS technology that's optional for all Soraluce machines. The machine has the new Heidenhain TNC7 CNC control on it, 40 tool ATC. The full enclosure that you see with the roof is included as a standard package for the machine. All right, let's go over here towards the Soraluce models. Here we have a model of the Soraluce FS floor type machine, which can be configured in any multiple different layouts. We can move floor plates around, rotary tables around. We can show head changing capability with one head changer or two head changers. We have the ability to change from a milling table to a multitasking table, just to give customers an idea of how configurable the machines really are. This model is more of a static display of the PMG gantry. So this is a full rail gantry with a multitasking capability. So we have a 3-meter diameter turning table and floor plate with a head changing system. This machine can be configured thousands of different ways, from 3.5 meters between columns up to 9 meters between columns, from 1.5 meters under the cross rail to 7 meters under the cross rail. The floor type machines we build in vertical travel from 1.5 meters up to 10 meters of vertical travel. X-axis travel starts at 3 meters. The longest we've ever built is 64 meters of X-axis, but we can build anything in between. All right, one more model to show you around this side. This is a model representing the new Soraluce Dynamic line, the high rail gantry series. This is a model of the HGA. I'm not sure the X-axis, but the machine is built as a 2-zone. So you can see the work pieces inside, and there's 2 tool changers, one for this front side, one for the back side. The high rail gantry is defined by the fixed sidewalls and then all the movement on the top of those sidewalls. We offer full 5-axis capability in all of our HG series, whether it's the HGA, which is designed for composites and aluminum, the HGP, which is designed for die mold, or the HGR, which is a fully universal machine. So let's go on over here to the Momentum. How are you, my friend? So, the Momentum MVL 15IM. This is one of the new models in the Momentum lineup. And one of the new special features we're showing on this Momentum machine here at IMTS is the Super Ram feature. We used to have 2 different connections, one for static tools and one for milling tools. Today we have one connection for all the different tools, whether it's static or milling. We also have the ability to add additional capto pockets and an automatic tool changing capto head. With the Super Ram, we also have indexing capability on the Ram. So when we look at the face of the Ram can have a 4-position turret, and that turret can index in 90-degree increments. So it gives us, instead of 1 tool position per tool block, gives us the ability to use 4 positions for every tool block with that feature on the machine. The Momentum does incorporate the FANUC 0 ITF plus CNC control, which is the standard control for all the Momentum products. And one other thing that we've changed in the Momentum is we've reduced the floor space of the Momentum MVL series. So we've taken the control cabinet down from being mounted on the back. We've redesigned the coolant tanks. We've increased the ergonomics inside the machine, so there's grates for the operator to walk on, which can also flip up out of the way, so when we're turning, we can get the chips out of the way and free flowing down to the chip conveyor. All right, so here we are in front of the Geminis GT5i 1.4 meter swing machine with 6 meters between centers. This is a 4-bed guideway machine. That means that the carriage is mounted to the front 2 guideways, the front half of the middle guideway, the front guideway, and the lower guideway. And then the steady rests and tailstock are all mounted to the rear guideways. That gives us the ability to move that carriage all the way down through the steady rests. As you can see, ergonomics for Geminis are a very big point. This is a 1.4 meter swing machine. You can swing 55-inch diameter, but we still have great access to the part, great access to measure the part, check the part as we're machining along, as well as maintain the tools. So if we come down to the tooling area, we can change tools here, check tools, check inserts, and we have very good access to do all that without having to climb up in and over a part. The tailstock on this machine is an NC servo tailstock. The quill is driven by an NC servo motor. You can see the digital readout on the top. That's what measures the thrust of the spindle of the quill. And the quill will maintain a constant thrust. So if we can program a thrust of so many newtons, and as we machine, if that shaft grows due to the heat generated during the cutting process, that tailstock, the servo system in the tailstock will relax itself so that it maintains the constant thrust on the part and doesn't induce undue stress into that part. This machine GT5i is equipped with the quick change carriage. So you can see here there's a separation point in the carriage. The cables here are plugged into the fluids or into the electrical connections. And then if we want to change over from this 4-position turret to one of the other accessories we'll look at in a second, we simply disconnect these connectors. We hit the 0-point button on the CNC control panel, which unclamps the turret. We pick this turret up and set it down on a waiting station, and then we can add any one of these options over here to the machine. So here we have a boring bar holder that can go right on that carriage. This is a 4-inch diameter boring bar, but we have capability to run up to an 8-inch diameter boring bar, so a 200 millimeter diameter boring bar. So this can be set right on top of there. This milling column can also be set right on top of that carriage. And this milling column gives you 50 taper, 30 horsepower milling capability with a Y-axis. So it can mill OD, or it can be manually indexed, manually rotated, and clamped in place to mill on the face of a part as well. Over here, we have a milling column that's designed to attach to the 4-station turret that's in the machine currently. So you can see the dovetail clamp here. This dovetail clamp allows us to load it right into that 4-position turret. And again, we can mount it on the side for OD milling, or we can mount it on the face for face milling of the part. So it gives you the ability, same thing, same Y-axis travel, not as much Y-axis travel as the milling column, but it does give you Y-axis travel here as well for milling operations. This is again a 50 taper, 30 horsepower milling unit. So that's what we have in the booth this year at IMTS. As you can see on the wall here, our theme this year at IMTS is your solutions for your biggest manufacturing challenges.